We go on our annual Thanksgiving trip that we call Turkey Hollow. Right out of the gate, we went for some gnarly cracks. We do a practice obstacle for our new, coming soon, Crawl Challenge series, finishing by going down a 9-rated trail, nasty half. But the best part was spending Turkey Day on the rocks with our wheeling family.
Happy Thanksgiving, C.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Woo! Happy Thanksgiving. The Right Gear crew and the whole fam is out here, and we're spending Thanksgiving in Sand Hollow. And we're jumping right in to Iron Man's Crack.
Alright, you guys, we made it out here for Thanksgiving in Sand Hollow, which is kind of becoming a tradition for us. And this is a big deal right now. Colby is riding with Forrest up this sweet track. So comment below about how cool that is.
Howdy, howdy, we're in Sand Hollow for what's starting to become our annual Thanksgiving trip, Turkey Hollow. Instead of turkey on a table, we're feasting on rocks. What a better way to start off the trip than slicing off a piece of Iron Man's Crack. This is the very first part of Iron Man's Trail. This trail got its name in 2016 as it was the Trailbreaker course. If you win Trailbreaker, then in return you're not only the baddest wheeler in the game for the year, but you also get to name the trail. Jeff McKinley was the winner and named it after his race team, Iron Man Racing. What makes this crack so wild is the passenger has a high side that is way up there, and the driver's side has a low side, causing you to lean to the driver's side like crazy. The passenger side is wildly uneven and undercut, so at any moment you can make the wrong move and wind up sideways, stuck in the crack. I focus on keeping my rig pinched evenly in the crack and make sure every move counts, making it one hell of a good start to the trip. We bail out of Iron Man's Trail, and in order to do that, there's a steep drop off on the other side with a couple of steps. I put my rig in front dig, holding the brakes just enough to drag my rear tires and giving it enough gas to slowly drive down. By doing this, it stretches out your wheelbase and gives you a lower center of gravity. It also takes the torque load off your rear tires, so it keeps your suspension from unloading. If it gets wild, you'll be able to flip the throttle to outrun your rears without your rears spinning, creating centrifugal force so your rears don't go over your front in a throttle out situation.
I did it again.
What'd you do?
I'm wheeling in my Uggs.
But your feet are warmed up.
Yes, they are.
Plus it's sand.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're ever to wear them, this is the place.
Jessica, infamous for going off-roading in Uggs. Can't stop, won't stop. Will I ever change? No!
We came to this side of the park to hit one of the trails called Joint Effort. And since we were over here, we hit Iron Man's Crack since they were in the same area. Joint Effort is a couple of ravines over, but that's the best part about Sand Hollow, is we can crisscross through trails or make our own trail to any other trail.
My friends are cool.
This section here is a great gateway from where we were to where we're going, with good cracks, transitions, and what might be the hardest part, this sandy pit exit. I get my fronts jammed up under an undercut transition, causing me to get bound up. I quickly throw it into front dig, allowing my fronts to climb freely without the rears plowing my fronts into the undercut. Once my fronts climb up, I bump it back into all four and continue up the crack. Driving cracks and ravines are some of our favorite obstacles, so much so you could call us an addict. If you are too and want some rad off-road lifestyle merch, make sure to head on over to wreckedgear.com and get you some.
That's deep.
Oh yeah, we're out here doing some crack, little crack addict action. We got Virgil over here working some cracks. Dude is getting the hang of this rear steer like a boss. We got Forrest over there. He is being full on uncle. He's got both kids in his rig just jamming. Now let's see if Virgil can get up this sand spot. This is the hardest part of this freaking line. I'm gonna need to see your insurance. I'm gonna have to see your insurance, sir.
After we cross over a couple of ravines and lines, we finally get to joint effort. This trail is loaded with really fun, flowy technical lines, with multiple falls, cracks ranging from all sizes that twist and turn throughout the trail. It's one of our favorite trails to keep the rig stacked tight and just cruise through just like we are now. There is nothing better than having a good group of wheelers and flowing up a trail, one right after another, knocking down obstacle after obstacle.
Woo! Good job!
About halfway up joint effort, there is a crazy bonus line. You have to approach it from the side, and it's a waterfall with a ledge on the driver's side that you have to use to climb up. It's easy to slip off the line, and it can cause you to slide back down and, in worst case, roll backwards. Once you work up the fall, you have to cross the top, which is narrow and slopes really gnarly to the passenger side down a big drop off. Not to mention, there's a small ridge that hangs up your front axle. This obstacle demands a lot of patience, confidence, and knowing how to drive your rig.
Chewy! That's a fun line. Looks crazy. That's the stuff right there. Yeah.
Right here, at this point, it catches your axle. See that rock? It feels sketchy because you don't see the fadeaway that falls way down there. But when you come up here, you're gonna try to skirt your driver's side tire. You're gonna skirt the edge just to bite up enough traction to get that axle over, but you're also gonna kind of use that rock to hold you from rolling over. It's pretty crazy, but you just lightly gotta take it and work it, make it to the top. Happy Thanksgiving, C.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Is that your first time?
Yeah.
What do you think? It's weird, huh?
Yeah, it's weird.
You kind of get up there, it goes blind, then your axle gets caught.
Yeah.
And then once your axle's caught, you're like, oh shoot, you gotta skirt for traction. Then you get to the top, it feels crappy, and then it feels good.
That's it.
I know. Yeah, on the crappy side, you're looking over and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna totally fall into that if it goes, but it's gotta have faith and keep going.
HiLites Gear has come up with a crazy fun challenge that you can play with your friends to bring friendly competition, making rock crawling and off-roading even more fun and exciting. We plan on making our first series before leaving Sand Hollow. Forrest saw a line he knew looked easy, but in reality was crazy hard. And what better way to practice for what's ahead of us than challenging if we could all make this line. Let me explain why this line is so hard. The front of the crack where you drive up is undercut. The driver's side wall in the crack is straight up and down, and the passenger side wall is undercut. To top it all off, the crack is so wide you only have a few inches of room from making a mistake and getting broke off.
Oh, okay, so first thing Forrest tells me, see that crack over there? It's not huge, but boy, is it a pain in the butt. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. He's like, see those undercuts? And she was right. So an undercut means here's a flat wall and this is like a tire against it. Well, an undercut's like this. So your tire goes in and then has to crawl backwards and over to get up top. And then you have that technicality of the crack you could fall in. He is right. It was super technical, but that was fun. Just had to kind of figure out what puzzle piece fit where without screwing up. High stakes.
How was your reward? How do you feel about it though?
My reward? I mean, I didn't screw anything up, so I just saved money on my buggy insurance. You see right here, Virgil's carrying that tire. He's crawled up to carry that tire, and then he's gonna cut back and try to catch the wall to avoid the undercut. That is a crazy move, super sick. See how it plays out. That's a lot of tire to be carrying, but theoretically, if he comes back and catches that, it's gonna be all good. See that? I told you he was gonna bridge the gap. That was wild. Freaking crazy.
He pulled an epic move to get mounted on the crack, but Virgil's axle width is way narrower than mine by almost a foot. The crack gets wider as you continue, and it drops him in.
His rig is so narrow, he can fit in there without touching anything. Sick. So when you get up an obstacle like this and you get in a spot where you need to back up, but you don't want it to unload, you put it in rear dig reverse and that stretches you out, just like if you're going down something. Super sick move, keeps you stable because when you have both tires pushing and binding, it wants to unload and throw your rig back. But if you put it in rear dig in reverse, then it stretches you out, it stabilizes you, and then you drag your fronts down the obstacle. So here's the other side of the crack. We got Uncle Forrest with all the kids. He's gonna rip through this, I'm sure. See that undercut right there? That's the undercut we're talking about. That's that undercut that binds everything. Gives you great traction, but it just binds you out. He's now having to work that rear tire up that undercut, which is really hard. But by doing digs and putting it in four and unbinding it, he's able to pull out just like that.
The trial run went great, and we're all pumped on how rad this new off-road challenge game is gonna be. It was a tough line, and Virgil was way too narrow, but he still would have gotten a letter.
That was sick.
Oh yeah, we're going down Nasty Hat for the first time. This is gonna be sick.
If you can go up it, then you can go down it. That being said, it doesn't change the fact that going down seems 10 times more sketchy. I'm not sure if it's because you're looking at the consequence or if it's the sliding with little control down the obstacle. But here are the highlights of what it looks like from in the buggy and Jess's and my reaction of going down. I think at one point she even covers her eyes with her beanie. Everyone has their own Thanksgiving traditions, making memories, surrounding yourselves with people that matter, This is how Rhett Gear spends ours. We all hope that you guys had a great turkey day. Speaking of which, no one bought or cooked a turkey because we were all out on the rocks. You think anybody would notice if a couple of these white ocean turkeys, seagulls, somehow disappeared? Never mind. The only way you can catch one of those things is if you called one in by acting like a bird. And I would never do that.
We're a bird!
Hey, I forgot to mention, we have 2 more days here. Judging on today's weather and wheeling, I don't think there's a single thing that could ruin this trip.
Howdy, howdy. We're trying to get rowdy, but we woke up the day after Thanksgiving, and let me tell you what happened. That it had rained the last 3 hours.
Well, we gave it one hell of a try, but now it's hailing a lot. We're heading back, and we're already soaked, and we didn't even get to the park. Sand Hollow weather, you got it again!
Sponsored in part by Birdie Life Race Wheels, BFGoodrich Tires, Warren Industries, KC HiLites, and Axel Off-Road Helmets. Best way to support this channel is give that subscribe button a little skiddly do, diddle that notification bell, give this video the fat finger, and leave a dirty little comment below. Rhett Gear now has merch and buggy accessories at rhettgear.com, so don't forget to go spend that money that mama don't know about. As always, thanks for watching.